Hey everyone, NWA Prepper here. So, does your MAG group have sick days? Now, of course, I don't mean today, because hopefully today, if somebody is not feeling well, if they're injured, you have a bit of sympathy, or maybe that's not the right word, but you have a desire for them to get better, to be well, and the patience to encourage them to be well. Now, I do believe there's a difference between hurt and injured. You can be hurt and sore and tired and ouch, and then if you're injured, you have a problem that needs fixed, or there's something needs to be done, some form of mitigation. And then, of course, they're sick, they're just not feeling well, and then they're sick or with illness. How are you going to handle that? I mean, how do you handle that today? Say you've got, the third weekend of each month, your MAG group meets and you go camping or whatever you do, or nothing, but whatever you do, you get out there and somebody's just not feeling well. They're like, I'm not up to this. How do you handle it? Or do you? Do you have the opinion of, okay, well, it's a free country where, it's not times of emergency. Why don't you just kick back by the campfire, or, how do you handle that? And there's no wrong or right way that I can think of. It depends on what each individual group has going on. Depends on what's happening in the world. It depends on what the injury or illness or pain is. We kind of go by the mantra that everybody fights, nobody quits. And I stole that straight out of a book called Starship Troopers. I think it's a movie. I know it's a movie. I think it's a couple of movies, but but there's a time, and now is the time to not necessarily push to the point to injury. Somebody's not feeling well, we try to make them feel better. We want them, they need to be better so that they can do normal life. So we don't want to push it beyond reason at a MAG group function. But also, that's the time that we need to learn each other's strengths and weaknesses. By somebody not feeling well, how well they still try to perform. Notice I said try to perform. If somebody's got a sprained ankle, they obviously are not going to perform to the same level as someone who has a stomach ache. And I know those are both subjective, but having a plan for it now in functions, in MAG functions, maybe now it's just like, if you're not feeling it, you just don't go. Unless you think you're contagious, illness-wise, I would encourage you to still go to your group's functions. Still go and still try to perform and still do your best. Always do your best. But just still try, because you might be surprised what you can do when you keep trying, when you don't quit. I find myself often surprised at when someone doesn't quit, how well they do, or how much more than they thought they could do that they do. And then there's also a time for this person just needs a different kind of care. They just need campfire time. They just need the fellowship time. Who knows what they're going through? Hopefully as a MAG group, they're willing to share that a little bit. But what is your plan for sick days in your MAG group or your mutual assistance group? Something to think about. Let's get ready.